Greetings from Stitching on State. This is our first Saturday, the last block of our barn quilt. We're doing the corn and beans block today. So this is the one we're working for. Now in your kit, you'll be cutting some fabric for your blocks. You will need to cut two 3-inch yellow and green, and you're going to have two that you're going to cut at 2 7/8. I know that's not a measurement we normally do. And then you're going to take those and you're going to cut them in half diagonally. So 2 7/8 get cut in half. And then these guys here we're going to make into our half square triangles. You're going to take your 3-inch gold and your 3-inch green, pair them up, draw your diagonal line. You guys have done this 100 times. Sew 1/4 inch on each side of the line. We're going to cut on our drawn line and press to the green, because our green is our darker color. Repeat this with your second set so you have 4 half square triangles. We need to square them up using your block lock ruler or your bias ruler. If you're using the block lock, remember, block lock goes on the light, your yellow. Slide it against your green. I need to leave a little bit extra past 2 1/2. Trim 2 sides. Spin it around. Second cut, right on 2 1/2. Trim the other 2 sides. There we go. If you are using the bias square, you're going to set the center diagonal down the center of the block, diagonal on the diagonal. Make sure you have a little bit hanging past 2 1/2. Trim the 2 sides. Turn it around. Second cut, exactly on 2 1/2. Make sure your center diagonals match. So choose your favorite method and your favorite tool. You will make 4 of those. So here I have more made up. So I'm going to use you're only going to use 3, so you will have an extra one. Now, in your next step, we're going to have to make parts of your center of your corn and beans. Figure out here. I need to get my drawing. There we go. This is what we're aiming for. Okay, so I'm going to take 1 half square triangle and add one of my triangles from my 2 7/8. Another half square triangle, and I'm going to put the green on one side and the gold on the other. And then on my third set, I can move these around. This is go here, here. My third set, half square triangle, and the green's going over. There we go, there. Okay, so you get these 3 components. Your handout will actually show the 3 parts, make them look just like your handout. The trick is to line up your 90-degree angles and That way you can sew and you can line up the two sides. This one here, I'll sew my yellow, and then I'll come over and sew my green. And do the same thing with your green set. Match up your 90-degree angle. Sew right through here, and I'll have that. So you'll have your 3 sets. When you press these, press to the triangles. Okay, press the triangle. Now to put them together, we're going to line it up. It goes down here. There we go. We're going to match these 2 seams. They will lock. So lock your seams. And then you can start sewing right here at your indentation. Make sure I'm gonna lock. Perfect. Right here, this 2 seams right here are gonna lock. So you know you're gonna put your gold on one side, green the other. Pull it over, lock my seam. I did press each of these out. If you want to press open your seam, by all means go right ahead to do that. There's our center of our corn and beans block. Now in your kit, you also received 2 large triangles. You do not have to square these up. We're going to use them just as is. I made them plenty big for you. We're going to find the center by pressing in half. The gold one is going to go on the side with the 2 green triangles. I'm going to just kind of match up that center fold to the center point of my center gold right here. And I'm going to sew that along that side. If you have best press, I would recommend best pressing your triangles just to make them so they are not stretchy. You are sewing on a biased edge. Press it to the triangle. And the green one's now going to go on the other side. Folded that I have marked in, match it with the center point of this green guy right here. And sew that one in place. And press it to the triangle. Okay, Okay, we did design this to be a block to be squared up to make it very easy for you to be accurate. Two different ways to square up. First way I'm going to show you is using a ruler that is anything bigger than a 6 or 6.5 inch square ruler. I'm going to lay the center diagonal down on the diagonal of my block. I'm going to line up this tip here, this tip down here at 6.5, and I can cut the two sides. Let me show you how that's done. Center line down the center. I should be lined up right here, 90-degree angle at the end. 6.5 lines down here. I can trim two sides. Flip it around. Again, 6.5 on these two sides. Make sure you're down the center diagonal. And you'll have a perfect 6.5 inch square corn and beans block. If you do not have a large square ruler, it can be done with your 6-inch ruler. And when you want to do it this way, you will trim all 4 sides separately. Know that this distance from the edge of the fabric to here is 2 1/4. I can lay 2 1/4 down this line right here. Make sure I have a 90-degree angle by glancing across here. And I can trim off one side. Turn. 2 1/4. Here. I'm nice and straight across that line there. Turn. 2 1/4 down here. On my half square triangles, I'm straight across this line here. Straight here, 2 1/4 here, and trim my 4 sides. So that's the other way you can trim your block up if you do not have a square ruler. Okay, so there are 2 ways. Once you've got your corn and beans block done, we're going to put our borders, our barn siding on it. I have the yellow facing up. You'll sew on your 2 sides with your 6.5 by 2.5. And then you should have a 2.5 by 10.5 you're gonna go, that are gonna go top and bottom. And that is your corn and beans block. So ladies, go plant your corn and beans. Have a good day.
Thanks, Terry.